Hello everyone, my name is Shaun Loftman. I'm at Landor, working in senior region. Just to let you know, we have been recording this and playing since this early this morning. Our CEO, Jane Garrity, she kicked off the whole event live this morning. She then passed on to Nick, who's in Sydney. We had Jonathan in Hong Kong, and then we went to Lulu in Mumbai. And I'm in Dubai, coming to you live, talking to you about sensorial branding. And so you were with me now. I'm just going to share my screen and take you through a presentation on sensorial branding, making sure we are sharing screen. Thank you for your questions so far. I saw Lulu was very busy answering questions. I think she had a really good time. Thank you, Lulu, again for that brilliant presentation. I'm going to take you through a subject which is quite close to my heart. Back to your senses. It is all about the engagement of stimulation through sensorial branding. So I'm going to talk to you about how brands can really leverage this topic and really take things to another level, especially as we see the world around us changing. Did you know that humans actually have more than five senses? We have 21 senses actually. Those senses include things like sense of touch, temperature, sense of space, a sense of space which is also can be known as exteroception and proprioception. And within our new world, we want our brands to really engage with us in a much greater way. So if brands take a more greater sensorial, come to us more sensorially, we not only of our brands be remembered, noticed, they'll be more remembered. So great brands, best brands that are working out there come to us more from a 360 perspective, and that sensorial approach is really important. During these times, as we know, everyone's in lockdown and the world has been greatly affected. How brands on the high street, how services, products begin to connect with us now that we have restrictions and isolation. So this is something that, sensorially really have to take notice of, because as you can see, it's a different world out there. So if brands can connect with us with all of our senses, we'll feel a far greater connection and empathy with them. So this is something that we've all come to our new normal. We are longing and begging for connection again. We've noticed things that we've never noticed before: people's voices, people's rituals, people's idiosyncrasies, and this is something which sensorially we really can take more advantage of. As we come out of lockdown, we are going to be thirsty and hungry for new ways of connecting. How will we connect with people now that we know a little bit more about each other and that we connect in a far different way? Today, over 65% of our searches are by a voice. So you can see how what will really need to become more interesting to us is who is talking to us, who is engaging with us. Is it, the idea of gender, race, and culture becomes more important. The debate rages on in my household as, why should Siri be male or female? Should we even know a gender at all? And I think there's also an interesting departure that what can happen now is that these searches, Alexia, Siri, and the like, can also begin to have more of a personality as to who they are. Almost looking on them as a new part of the family. So having much more greater freedom to engage with us through persona and characterization. So if you think that the first ever sensorial experience that we had was our mother's heartbeat, It is surprising to hear that only 0.9% of us consider sound um, really important when making brand buying decisions, which is interesting to know that there's a great opportunity for sound to be further explored. Um, Research showed that when music is played slower than the heartbeat rhythm of a human, people tend to eat more. People eat more when the rhythm of the heart with music rhythm is slower than a heartbeat. And also very interesting in Las Vegas, sales on slot machines fell by 24% when machines were modernized and the twinkling and the whirring sounds were emitted. Sales dropped, which is incredible to find that we not only are we sensorially driven, we're also driven to familiarity and that basic instinct to connect with sound in a very sensorial way. So we definitely have become more attuned to our senses during lockdown. Um, and we must now, brands must now consider they have a greater array of 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 tools in the kit box. You know, we have greater opportunities for us to connect, for brands to engage with people, and we could we be even looking at a new sensory soundscape as we come out of isolation. You know, what is it that we will all be thirsty and hungry for, that we want our brands to provide? And at Landor, we've had some an amazing conversations currently with our clients who are now looking at, you know, widening that scope of brand experiences. Millet brand, we worked with them and the Millet Kitchen. They put taste and food at the very beating heart of their brand, to engage the customer, to engage the consumer. And although they were adding advice, this was all done around the idea of a multi-sensory food and taste experience. So taking food and putting it right at the very heart, making taste the sense that is activated, but also the sounds of the equipment. So it's multi-sensory and it really latches onto everything that we hold dear. At Landor, we've also launched our own scent. So given our affiliation to the sea, we've come up with our own scent, and of course, it had to be called Coast. And Joali in the Maldives, linking the brand, and especially the biggest promise to the brand, which was joy, we linked that to chocolate. So you can be forgiven the 86% of pure cocoa if you are getting 100% of joy. So sensory branding is there for us to take advantage of. We have a new state of being. We come out of lockdown and we notice that we are far more sensitive to the world around us, to each other, to our brands, and to the world around us. So we've been working with the Saudi Space Commission and developing their brand. And one of the things that we wanted to find out, or we wanted to answer, was what is the sound of Earth? A brand to do with the space exploration. How can sound be made relevant for a brand like this? So corporations are commercial and they're making lots of noise in this sphere of space exploration. But the interesting thing about the Saudi Space Commission is that we wanted to put them as a brand that listens. Everyone's else making noise and commercially driven, and we're talking about listening to the plight of the earth. Listen to what people really want individually. So it's not just about making gain, it's about making real connection with people and finding out the world what the world cares about. So you might be able to just about hear that tone. This is uh, Professor Don Gurnett. Don Gurnett is a remarkable scientist, and he has been recording the sounds of Earth from space for many years. And for NASA, aboard the Van Halen probe, he made an amazing discovery through the Earth's magnetic sphere. he recorded sounds on many different levels. They were stacked, and he was able to capture what the earth sounds like. And you just about heard it there. But what blue jeans cannot do, it cannot recognize these high pitched sounds. There were oscillations, whistlers, and vibrations and drones, and even blue jeans was struggling to play that whole piece because it doesn't recognize it as audible to the human ear. So the magnetosphere, which he studied, it actually really it defines what Earth sounds like. And we took this information, and the stream, which is when Earth is recorded, is shown at the top here. And then we created algorithms which were able to turn sounds into a visual language. So not being able to play this sound of Earth because it's not really aesthetic to the human ear, we then ventured to create it in a visual language. And this visual language is used to represent the brand and to translate sound into a remarkable visual. We also played with making that sound into something in a daily. So we played with creating a tone. Here you can see the brand is a visual kaleidoscope, lines and expression. We'll play with that. And we were able to create a fascinating language, a language which describes the sound of Earth from space. And this is the premise of our brand. It was very interesting. It also led us to do some remarkable discoveries around sound and interaction with sound. So we took that stream of Earth sound, we bent it into a sphere and created the brand mark. And just hidden in the center, knowing that the symbol of Saudi Arabia is a palm tree, there's also a hidden palm tree in the center of this brand mark. So the sound, this brand mark, if you unfurl it, it could be played and it would represent the sound of Earth from space, giving Saudi Space Commission a remarkable platform to create a brand that listens and interacts with everyone. So it informed a look and feel, which was using this soundscape to a great degree. It also led us to think about, what would that brand feel and touch like? What would it feel like? We have a sound capsule, which we recorded sound, and the idea is that you record sound, send it into space, and it can be played to your future self. That's something we're working on. Looking at how the whole feel of the brand has to feel different because it's not of this Earth, it's of space. So exactly how does that work? And then capturing sound future generations. And
Saudi Space
the other thing we thought about as well is what would a brand like this taste like? And it will probably be something like molecular gastronomy. So that is the end of my my webinar. I'd just like to end with a few bullet points of thoughts for you, that we will come out of this situation hungry to connect, and we can all take advantage of that, brands especially. We definitely have a more heightened sense of our senses because of COVID. We are now noticing and feeling the brands around us and space around us differently. We can activate our senses to make a more lasting impression. So if all of our senses are engaged, we will not only notice brands, we will remember brands. And who exactly will take advantage of this, and how will people take advantage of this? Thank you very much. And I guess I'll see you all soon.